The Permian extinction was a mass disappearance of species on Earth around 252 to 299 million years ago. The extinction happened over a course of 15 million years, in which geologists and paleontologists have been able to put together with the help of fossils and figuring out the climate back then. Scientists say that if humans keep following the ways we live, meaning having excess emissions produced and increasing global warming, we could be pushing ourselves to another mass extinction. If we do not change, we will be a ticking time bomb. With the assistance of scientists' recent research, we have been able to puzzle together the climate that occurred back then, and to determine what caused the extinction to occur. If scientists can recover this information, we can have a good chance with changing the future. Now firstly, what caused the Permian extinction? There are a few different causes that may have contributed to the Permian extinction. One example being some single event causes that were biological and physical. This interrupted nutrient cycles, which is the function of nutrients moving from the physical environment through to the living organisms and then recycled, returning to the physical environment. This cycle is essential for life as it moves from the environment, which are plants, through to animals and then repeats. Another cause that has been determined is that there was dramatic temperature rises, not just on land but in the sea. Shallow waters were becoming uninhabitable as the water was becoming too hot for species of marine life. Species that could thrive in warm water were able to withstand these temperatures. Temperatures had risen to roughly 24 to 28 degrees. The heating up of the water was a result of global warming. Lastly, another contributor to the Permian extinction was increases in greenhouse gases and ocean acidification. Greenhouse gases affect the Earth as they alter the climate as they absorb energy in the lower atmosphere then re-emit it. Ocean acidification was also decreasing species rapidly, which limited diversity, biomass, and trophic complexity of marine animals. Carbon dioxide also adds to ocean acidification, as when it rises, scientists have seen a dramatic biological response from various species of marine life. Ocean acidification can cause major dead zones where there is no marine life found and no species that can live in that type of habitat. What are some facts about the species that lived on Earth during the Permian extinction? At the end of the Permian extinction, majority of the species had been wiped out and now are known as extinct. Some species around today can be linked to the species around then. However, it is only down a long track of ancestral connection. The extinction resulted in about 95% of marine species extinct and 70% of terrestrial species wiped out. This extinction was ranked first in the severity of the 5 major extinction episodes that have occurred throughout time. What is an example of a species around during the Permian extinction? Well, one particular fossil that has been found by paleontologists is that of the extinct species called the tortoise-beak diconox. This animal was a middle-sized, 4-legged, most likely carnivore that roamed the lands. Now moving on to the 2 main types of animals around during the Permian extinction. The 2 types of animals that walked around during the Permian extinction were the cynipids and the sauropods. The cynipids are thought to be ancestors to mammals as they have one temporal opening on their skull. An example of a cynipid is the Dimetrodon. The sauropod differ as they have 2 temporal openings on their skull and are ancestors to reptiles, which were birds or dinosaurs. Sauropods were more capable to adapting to changes in conditions, therefore some species survived the Permian extinction. Now, is there any similarities or differences between then and now? Yes. With today's climate change and global warming increasing constantly, we are starting to create our own extinction, with species on Earth disappearing every day. CO2 has been increasing dramatically throughout all geological time. Scientists say that increases of gases in the atmosphere usually take a while until you can start seeing the consequences. Currently, we are emitting too much emissions for Earth to take. Emissions can be from cars on the roads and factories. Global warming is what is similar between today and back then. However, back then there was no unnecessary man-made materials making excess emissions, which fast-forwarded the global warming effect. If we reconstruct the climate back in the Permian age, would it help us prevent another extinction? Yes, it would. Reconstructing the past climates could give us a huge advantage to preventing another extinction from occurring during our lifetime. Most of the assumptions of the Permian extinction from occurring was due to climate change and global warming. So it seems logical to figure out what occurred with the climate so we can try to prevent and change our ways today to slow down the effects. Ways we can slow down this process is to possibly ride bikes instead of driving, or reduce the waste of plastics and other materials. If we can prevent another extinction from occurring, we can save all the species that may have been in risk of becoming extinct. What are some examples of species that are already becoming extinct? Some examples of species that are in risk of becoming extinct are the Thornton Peak nursery frog, broad-headed snake, pink-tailed legless lizard, golden-shouldered parrot, and the yellow-footed rock wallaby, just to name a few. These animals are all highly sensitive from global warming and are currently endangered. If we are not willing to change, we better say goodbye to them. As you can see in this graph, the Permian era has the highest extinction occurrence percentage out of all extinctions recorded. As you can see on the second graph, there was less biodiversity than in the Triassic extinction. However, the Permian age had cartilaginous fishes compared to the Triassic era having bony fishes. Now introducing my special guest, Dr. Madison Morgan, who will be giving us some insightful facts on the Permian period. So Madison, what can you tell us about yourself?
Hello there. So, with my type of research, which is paleontology, I have specifically studied large predator Permian animals that roamed throughout the Permian extinction. I have specifically researched a predator that was around 250 million years ago, called Dinogorgon, which roamed the floodplains of South Africa. This predator was roughly 10 foot tall, with a skull the length of 32 centimeters. This large predator vanished during the mass extinction, adding to the 9 of every 10 plants or animal species disappearing.
Thank you for the interesting facts about the Dinogorgon, one of the many predators to roam the lands during the Permian extinction. In conclusion, if we do not change our ways now, we will not have a chance of protecting ourselves, our animals, nor the Earth from another mass extinction.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video so much.